Ukraine, we join over 50 countries around the world and 50 cities here in Canada in supporting Ukraine and condemning Russia.
Thank you to the Ukrainian-Canadian Congress for organizing this vigil here in Toronto.
We got lucky. We just parked like on the other side, like an open space, like waiting for
To know that vigils like this are being held in towns and cities across Canada. This is a night to celebrate Ukraine. To celebrate that we are all still standing. And that Canada continues to stand with Ukraine. Canada's and Canadian support for Ukraine is truly inspiring. I want to thank you, Father Bodin Choli, for your prayer, and of course to the Babanok Dance Ensemble for your performance. Canada has a strong Ukrainian-Canadian community dating back more than a century. Today, Canada is home to the second largest diaspora community in the world, and we all benefit from your hard work, your rich freedom, and your steadfast support in Ukraine's fight to freedom. And I am so grateful to be part of tonight's event. Canada, I'm happy to be surrounded by so many great Liberal members of Parliament standing with Ukraine. A year ago today, Ukrainians woke up to the horror of war in their... Hey, sir, I think Ukrainians can tell you a little bit about freedom and liberty, so why don't you settle down? This is a night for them, not for you. This is a night for Ukrainians, not for you. If you want to stand and cheer with Ukraine, do that. If you want to wave that Ukrainian flag, please do. But let people celebrate that Ukraine is still standing and Canada stands with it. A year ago today, Ukrainians woke up to the horrors of war in their country. Shortly before dawn, on February 24th, 2022, while they slept, Putin fired a barrage of missiles at cities across Ukraine, and Russian forces illegally invaded sovereign territory. A year ago today, tens of thousands of Ukrainian soldiers and civilians we have lost were still alive. And 20% of the population hadn't had to flee to safety. This morning, I visited St. Demetrius, a school in Etobicoke. You know it well. It's the heart of the community. 151 Ukrainian refugee children go to classes there now. And since last year, more than 167,000 Ukrainian citizens have come to Canada seeking safety under our special immigration measures and have been so warmly welcomed by all Canadians. Unifier. The Canadian Armed Forces have trained over 35,000 members of the Ukrainian security forces. Military support, including artillery, ammunition, armor, and tanks, and more. Earlier today, I announced a new round of military support, including 4 more Leopard tanks and thousands of Mr. Putin, we will stand with Ukraine as long as it takes, as much as it takes. Sanctions and punitive economic measures to help continue to deplete the Kremlin's war chest. When Vladimir Putin launched his war of aggression, he thought it'd be over in a few days. But he underestimated the courage and strength of Ukrainians. He underestimated the determination of those among us in the West and around the world who stand with Ukraine and who will stay with Ukraine as long as it takes. With President Zelensky, I spoke with him again just this morning, and he sends his love and his thanks to all Canadians who stand with Ukraine. I am consistently taken by his courage and his resilience. He has stared down Putin's threats since before the invasion. He has rallied support from around the world. He has given hope to his people. He has become a champion of democracy for the whole world, as have all Ukrainians. You have stood up to a ferocious defense as Ukrainians against Putin's ruthless aggression. In Ukraine, you have beaten back Russian advances time and time again. You have proven that victory is the only option. A year ago today, the blue and yellow flag represented the iconic Ukrainian landscape of clear skies and wheat fields. Now, missiles pierce that sky and craters mark those fields. But thanks to the courage and strength of Ukrainians, the flag still flies in Kyiv, in Kharkiv, in Kherson, and across Ukraine. And it is so great to see you waving it in solidarity here tonight and across Canada. Because here in Canada, we believe in a free and sovereign democracy. We stand up to bullies, and we will stand with Ukraine with everything it takes for as long as it takes until we see peace return to Ukraine. Slava Ukraini!
Canada since the beginning of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, many of whom have chosen Ontario to be their safe haven. Please welcome the Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, who has been instrumental in this effort.
Thank you. Well, good evening, everyone. It's great to see everyone tonight. Great to see the Ukrainian communities out in full force. Great to see my home area of Etobicoke, all the Ukrainians from there. God bless you. And it's an honor to be here alongside Prime Minister Trudeau, Consul General Shevchenko, and all the members of all levels of government. And thank you to the Ukrainian Canadian Congress for organizing this march. It's illegal invasion and onslaught of murdering innocent civilians, including innocent women and children, for 365 days and counting. The people of Ukraine and the heroic Ukrainian armed forces have bravely resisted. I welcome the people of Ukraine with open arms. And my friends, let me say today, we will never ever waver in standing up against tyranny. We will never ever waver in the support for Ukraine. And I can tell you, Putin is nothing more than a tyrant, a thug, and his war of aggression has only revealed the strength and the resilience of the Ukrainian people. And all his efforts, the blue and yellow flag still flies over Kyiv, and our hearts are with the people of Ukraine as they fight for freedom, and with all those whose families and loved ones have been affected by this war. We all pray that peace and victory are on the horizon. I want to thank you for coming out tonight. May God bless the people of Ontario, and may God bless the people of Ukraine. Glory to Ukraine!
Слава Україні! Слава нації! Слава нації! Україна! Україна! Україна!
behalf of the brave people of Ukraine, I invite to speak a great patriot, the Consul General of Ukraine in Toronto, Mr. Olександр Шевченко.
I came here today at this stage to say 4 big thank yous on behalf of the government of Ukraine, on behalf of the people of Ukraine. It has been probably the most tragic and defining year in Ukraine history, but we stood our ground. We did not break down. We did not surrender. We withstood the Russian aggression due to our fearless warriors, due to our men and women on the front lines and in the rear, due to their sacrifice, their courage, their resilience, but also due to the powerful support and assistance of the democratic world, in particular that of Canada. Mr. Prime Minister, the political, financial, humanitarian and military support and assistance provided by Canada, by your government to Ukraine is invaluable, and it will always be remembered. Makes us stronger, makes us absolutely confident in our victory. As President Zelensky said, there is no alternative to a Ukrainian victory. We have to liberate Ukraine. We have to liberate Europe. І слава Україні!
Героям слава!
To speak on behalf of the city, please welcome Deputy Mayor Jennifer Маккелві.
Toronto has an incredible Ukrainian community who are hurting and who are terrified for their loved ones and for the future of Ukraine. As a city, please know that we will continue to support you. We recognized the conflict at City Council last year and called for an end to Russia's aggression. We have lit the Toronto sign tonight in blue and yellow in honor of the Ukrainian people. As a city, we are working with dedicated organizations in the city's newcomer office to continue to support Ukrainian refugees. We conveyed directly to the Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship, Sean Fraser, Toronto's full support for Ukrainian refugees and resettlement efforts being made by our federal government. As a city, we are leading mayors across the GTA and Hamilton in a coordinated effort to fully support and resettle Ukrainian refugees, from housing to services at locations across the region. My new friends in the front for translating tonight and helping me, and I'd like to let everybody know that the people of Toronto will continue to stand with the Ukrainian people as they continue the fight of their lives, the fight for freedom, and the fight for democracy. Slava Ukraini!
Ukraina! Next, please welcome a friend of Ukraine who we had the pleasure of meeting at the Holodomor Memorial in November. The Honorable Pierre Poilievre, leader of the official opposition. Lisa Lansman, deputy leader of the official opposition, member of parliament for Thornhill, and also Anna Roberts, MP for King Vaughan.
Leader launched an unjustified, illegal, and unprovoked attack on an innocent people and a sovereign country. He thought that it would be over in days. He thought the people would back down and allow for his domination. But what he underestimated was the defiance, the determination, and the courage of the Ukrainian people, not just in Ukraine, but all around the world. Courage and determination that I see right before me here today.
Canadian Congress are doing to keep your families safe here and sending aid. You will overcome. We will overcome together. This is what working together looks like, what we hear. We support you. Your freedom, your culture, your language, your identity, and your sovereignty threatens Putin's evil beliefs. These things show him that he is wrong. It is not right.
Stand with Ukraine! Stand with Ukraine!
Stand with Ukraine!
Stand with Ukraine! Stand with Ukraine!
Finally, V for victory. Victory over war. Miigwech.
Next, I invite Markian Shvets, chair of the Stand With Ukraine Committee, to speak and the lead organizer of many Toronto rallies, including today's Mega March.
Слава Україні! Шановні, покажіть нашим депутатам, хто приїхав з України за останній рік до Канади. All those who moved from Ukraine to Canada the last year, raise your hands. We welcome you. Вітаємо вас в Канаді, в Онтаріо, в Торонті. We welcome you here. And these are the people behind me that make it happen. So thank them all. Thank them for helping Ukraine. Thank them for helping our refugees. And thank them for what they have done, but what they still will do. Дякуємо! 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 Next, please welcome Alexandra Kachi, President of the UCC National, under whose leadership the Ukrainian community in Canada has never been more united. Her perseverance has resulted in many gains for the benefit of Ukraine. Joining her will be Mr. Taras Bahri, President of UCC Ontario Branch, under whose leadership many new community connections have been formed. Please welcome them.
Шановна громадо, all of us will remember where we were and what we were doing at 5:07 a.m. Kyiv time on February 24th. The Board of Directors of the Ukrainian Canadian Congress had just finished a call with you, Prime Minister, and members of your cabinet. And as soon as that call ended, our phones lit up. The invasion had started. Sadly, in the past year, thousands of Ukraine's sons and daughters have given their lives in defense of their country. This evening, we honor their memory because heroes never die. Herої не вмирають! 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 Anniversary. Yesterday at the United Nations General Assembly, 141 members voted in favor of the resolution that Russia withdraw its troops from Ukraine and stop the fighting.
Now, please welcome Petro Штурин, President of UCC Toronto, under whose leadership the Ukrainian community in Toronto has been instrumental in supporting Ukraine and welcoming displaced Ukrainians.
Ukrainian forces chased Russians out of Kyiv. Ukrainians chased Russians out of Kharkiv. Ukrainians chased Russians out of Kherson. And this year they will chase them out of Donbass and Crimea. And I've said this before, when it's all over, we're going to have a beach party in Crimea. And the first drink is on me. I sincerely want to thank everybody that came out tonight. It's a cold night, but Ukrainians are actually pretty hot-blooded. So thank you for coming out and supporting. I especially want to thank the Government of Canada. The assistance that they have given over the last while has been phenomenal, and Canada has really stepped up and shown true leadership. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. I want to thank our brothers and sisters in all the various communities that always show up and continue to support us. Marcus Kolga from the Central and East European Council Canada and Estonian Central Council. Thank you, Marcus and the Estonian community. Dominik Roszak of the Canadian Polish Congress. Thank you to the Polish community. Virginia Zubrakis of the Lithuanian Canadian community. Thank you. Teresa Berezovsky of the World Polonia Council. Andris Kasteris of the Latvian Canadian Council. Albert Puslachis of the Latvian National Federation. Elena Lomonochkanka of the Belarusian Canadian Alliance. Olga Makas of the Belarus Canadian Alliance as well. Thank you to the Belarus community. Gloria Fung of Canada Hong Kong Link. Thank you. And Andrzej Zarazada of the Iranian Canadian community. Thank you to all our friends. Slava Ukraini!
Thank you all for attending today and demonstrating your support for Ukraine. With the support of the world behind it, Ukraine knows it stands on the right side of history. Щодня ми повинні змінювати ситуацію, аби зупинити Росію зараз. Україна переможе! До перемоги! До перемоги! До перемоги! До перемоги! Please join us in singing the Canadian and Ukrainian national anthems.
With glowing hearts we see the rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Ще не вмерла України ні слава, ні воля. Ще нам, браття українці, усміхнеться доля. Зинуть наші вороженьки, як роса на сонці.